part, the learning tested on the 10th grade MCAS has less new learning than the learning that's assessed on the 7th and 6th, 7th, and 8th grade tests. They're learning more and being, tested at each interval. And then when they're in 10th grade, it's really that combination for that. So those are some things that we're looking at. So if you look at all of the numbers, most of our kids are meeting the mark. We need to help along the kids who are, we don't have a lot of failures. I'll digress a little bit. So the kids are making progress. We need to help them make more progress. What are our strengths? Consistent performance over time. The curriculum is closely aligned to standards. Science is the outlier there. We know science was the outlier, and we did our work on that last year, and we're hopeful that this year we're going to see some better results. We've refocused on science. We've re-provisioned science to the best of our ability, despite some of our economic concerns, and people have it in hand and they feel comfortable that they know what they're supposed to do. Here's a real positive to what we've been doing. The interventions work. Kids who have participated in either the after-school program, we don't really have numbers on the summer program yet, but kids who got additional interventions resulted in 50 to 60% of those kids were able to raise their scores. And for the most part, they went up a level. We had some kids move from proficient to advanced, and we had some kids move from needs improvement to proficient. So when we can get to them, when we can get them some small group tutoring or some one-on-one time, they can make gains. And again, what we're trying to do is refocus on individual growth, identification, and intervention. Instead of looking at the test and saying, oh my gosh, this year we missed 3 questions on probability. All we're going to do this year in the spring is probability, so we get those questions right, but there aren't as many questions on probability this time around, and it's going to be measurement. And we did that for a while as our sole focus, and we're trying to push back on that. It's important to recognize that we may need to reteach, but it's more important to refocus on the individual student and what their particular standard deficiencies are. Okay, because casting that wide net hasn't moved those numbers forward for us. Areas for improvement. I'm going to put writing in the category with science. We know, and we've been struggling with how to deal with it. Open response and topic development, or the writing component of the long comp, seems to be an area that that we're lagging behind. We're very close to too close to state percentages in that substandard area. So you'll see this year we're focusing, especially K-5, on finding not a new writing program, but a new writing process. We've been using John Collins, and that's very good at organizing and helping kids understand common language around writing. But we need something, and one of the first things we're looking at is 6 traits to help kids get what's up here out on the page and be able to articulate and apply. And that seems to be where we're falling down. And this is something we see whether we're looking at our day-to-day assessments, our common assessments, we're frustrated by it. So we need to turn our frustration into some type of positive outcome.
I guess the question is, or comment, is I expect to see new programs coming along, because my belief is that a lot of what we're seeing at the younger ages is a significant impact from technology. And kids using computers at a younger age and using text messaging and all the easy things where before you had to iterate more. And I just think that we are seeing that drop off statewide in a younger grade, in writing especially. And I just wonder what kind of impact the technology is having on that. I think it's negative, but that's just a personal opinion. Yeah, the mechanics of
The
writing.
mechanics of writing are solid for us. We do well in solid foundational skills. It's the writing component and what you have to express, explain, and support that we're falling back on. And from my personal experience in teaching writing to 9th graders for a long period of time, that's time consuming. You need one-on-one editing session. You need small class size, you need a lot of time, and a lot of time to review their product and share that review with them. So that's one of the first things that becomes problematic when you grow class size. And that's one of the first arguments we always use when looking at block scheduling at high school, not necessarily your particular high school, but just in general. You cut down on class size of the number of papers you're taking home per night, you can assign papers writing takes on different forms at different levels. But writing is something that definitely, we can see a relationship between the frequency of being able to do it, the time it takes to correct it, is driven a lot by the numbers of kids that you have. That's why the National Council for Teachers of English recommends no more than 20 kids in an English class, and then in an ideal situation, an English teacher would teach only 4. Because it's a labor-intensive process to take kids through.
It's so aggravating, frustrating for the student. I've experienced that. I can ask one of my kids about a book he read, and he goes on and on and on and on. But if he has to put it down in writing, you're really gonna get 4 sentences, because that's a paragraph.
And we just chatted about that this afternoon. Our comprehension numbers, when they read the text and answer a question about it, they're good, they're solid. But when they have to do it on their own, we need to help them. That's where we need to reach them.
Yeah, that's right.
One thing we're also looking at, we talked about it here before, is consistency of student performance among like schools, the elementary schools. What we're trying to do through our councils is share best practice. What's working in one environment, hey, your scores were good on this particular standard. How do you teach that? I know we're all working off the same scope and sequence, but what do you do for an activity that may be reaching more kids than what I'm doing? So we are trying to level that off, and there are lots of changes that have taken place within the schools, and there are differences among them. They're not all carbon copies of one another, and every building has their own set of challenges, but what we're trying to do is ensure that we're all teaching the same thing, we all have the same programs, and how are we teaching it? What's the structure of the day? How many minutes are you spending on certain topics? Do you go every day with one topic or every other day? So we're aware of it, and we're working toward fixing that problem. The other area that came up, and it pops up for us periodically, it pops up for many middle schools across the state, subgroup performance at the middle school in math. That's hurting our AYP. We have subgroups that didn't make AYP, meaning they didn't meet their growth gains for the year, so we need to get in there and figure it out. We had this problem a couple of years ago, and we were able to remediate it and move the ball forward for those kids, and it's cropped up again. I think that's another thing to remember about these year-to-year MCAS scores. It's one group of kids against different, it's not the same kids you're seeing on the page when you look at that graph. It's different groups of kids who come in and maybe have different baselines. So they're gonna make progress in their growth in different ways. What we'd like to do with the middle school math kids is similar to what we've been able to do with the elementary, which is come up with, I know we have homework club, but a specific academy for the kids who we've identified as needing greater assistance. One of the things we run into is kids who are identified for specific assistance in math skills through their IEP can't qualify for Title I tutoring. Title I tutoring first has to go to General Ed. So this is a group of kids that can't benefit from the extra tutor that we have. They have services in Learning Center, and they do have their own tutoring, but we think it would be beneficial to have them meeting as a subgroup after school. We're looking at general math performance in grade 4 and 7. If you look over a couple of years at the same cohort, 4 and 7 seem not to make. The kids from that group don't seem to make progress, and our general scores in both years seem to be lower than they should be. They drop below that 70 mark. So we pose a lot of questions when we look at it. Is it something in the curriculum? Is it something developmental at those 2 points in time? Are there large new pieces of learning that kids are having trouble overcoming, and how can we get them there?
So I just wanted to get on that 4th grade, because the same class, 3rd grade last year was 40% advanced in math, and this year was 21%, and it was 19% advanced in English, and this year was 8%. And that's a real concern to me. I know the percentages jump quickly because we're not talking about large numbers, but to drop almost half in math and more than half in English, I think you're right to place some attention there. Now, I did notice though that the 4th grade English scores statewide, only 12% scored advanced. It seems like there was something weird in the test because, but again, the state average was higher than I personally don't think that's acceptable.
It's not. It's not. There does seem to be over year to year, regardless of group, a drop from third to fourth. Not an excuse, you're absolutely right, we cannot be in that situation. But they are very different tests. And then I mentioned before the focus on developing science skills and sharing the best practices among schools. Science is a big focus for us this year. Technology is not cooperating with me tonight.
Third to fourth.
In terms of the district.
Yeah,
By the state.
for the whole well, the state, for example, for fourth grade English, the state percentage for advanced was 12%, and we were 8% advanced in English for fourth grade.
I don't remember that. I remember
209.
sixth grade
Right
being
here,
below.
fourth grade English, District 8, State 12, students tested 209 in fourth grade.
District
Yeah,
8, state 12.
yeah.
I saw that in sixth grade. That we were a point.
Right. Right, but I'm saying we should never be the lowest state, in my opinion, we should never be the lowest state average on a test like this. That's just my personal opinion. And there was, there were a few others where we were below, but it was close. And maybe the data I have is wrong, but the other one was English in the sixth grade, where the state was 16 and the district was
That one
15.
jumped. That one jumped out of me.
Yeah.
I would be surprised that I missed the other one, but maybe
We can just check it.
maybe I did. Yeah, and it looks like I just got knocked off more. Which is good. We only have a couple of slides to go. You have it in front of you. I'll try to bring it up as I'm talking. I've interwoven quite a bit of what's left of this into our discussion. Coming up, our plans for progress. We're pretty good at we know we have some issues, so how are we going to address them, and what's our game plan? A lot of it is nicely tied to the plan that I shared with you this summer, our goals for the councils and our work going forward. We're going to continue. We were, like I said, refunded for Title I, but refunded at a lesser amount. We lost probably about $5,000–6,000 from the grant, which will translate into hours of service to the kids. So we're going to continue with Title I math tutors and targeting kids who qualify for Title I and have issues with mathematics on the MCAS to receive services. We're in the process of developing a more robust writing program. We have a group going off in early December to do a whole day on 6 traits writing and looking at how that will fit with our current literacy program. And I talked about RTI before, and it's worth bringing up again. I think this is the key to success, and the principals are all executing this in different forms of their schools. We're continuing to use common assessments to provide real-time information for finding out which kids are lagging behind. We're implementing common assessments at the middle school level, and we're implementing we want to implement a middle school after-school math academy, similar to the elementary program. We're going to need resources for that. We're trying to figure out a creative way to provide it. What else haven't I mentioned? I think the RTI, the response to intervention model, using common assessments to provide real-time targeted assistance, using universal and common screening tools, that's even before they get into the MCAS process, using the DRA, the reading assessment tool, and the GATES in first and second grade to identify reading levels and try to provide early intervention before it becomes a problem. I think that's our theme, catching it before it becomes a problem. And I think I repeated myself. I want that middle school after school math academy, and we've got the Real Line K-5 science, and we've got the PD coming up that I've already mentioned. Again, I've